Finally, we have the SuperMix 4 from Simgot and IM that is highly anticipated by you guys, and hope you guys will have gotten it during the 618 sales. If not, late is better than none. Is selling at $150 US. I guess when you bought it through sales like 618, you might be able to get it like 130-ish. And for the price with these drivers, and it's from Simgot, I think that is a very high value and very worth it. So let's talk about it. Hello guys, it's Jordan of Jordan Geek Review. Welcome back. Yes, I've been disappeared for very long because I traveled to Australia, traveled to Sydney, and when I come back to work, I need to repair the off days that I was spent in advance while traveling, so was really busy and really taxing. So now let's get back to reviewing this SuperMix 4, and IM that was really like hype when they leaked out the photos like half a year ago. So the photo, we don't have the outlook of the photo, but we have the driver configuration that time. Maybe the leak out was made during, I guess, some audio show back in China. So everyone was super hyped because usually Simgot would just do single dynamic drivers, or you know, the EA500, EA1000 kind of lineup. So never expect them to like come up with something like this with all the drivers. So this IM, why we call that the SuperMix 4, because they have 4 different type of drivers configuration, and it's kind of interesting, as in you got dynamic drivers, balanced armature, you got planar, and also a piezo driver inside. It has like almost everything except bone conductor and the EST. Yeah, so you almost got everything in there, and it's also kind of a miracle for them to be able to put everything together and still manage to tune it good. Yeah, so good job in this aspect, and we talk about the sound later. First of all, let's do the traditional, I would say usually in my past review for Simgot, I usually would talk about their box, their design. As in, you can see the EA500, I mean the OG EA500, the EA500 LM, or even like the EA1000, all of their box, their design language is like, wow, it's so premium. Yes, it's so premium. And suddenly out of nowhere, they come up with this. So not sure who approved this. Yeah, maybe, just maybe, they outsourced the designing to some exterior designer or some intern students. So not sure why. So I still appreciate things like the EM10. Yes, that box is pretty, and follow back their traditional design language and something like the EA500, which is cool. This is just a bit weird. So nothing too much inside to talk about, so just your IM, your case, and your cable. So I got the IM with me. Let's talk about the physical aspect. So first of all, for having 4 types of drivers, I don't consider this to have like a lot of things inside, because as you guys know, dynamic drivers take up space, and also planars will also take up space. Not sure how big is the piezo, but I think that this IM is, I would call it small, or like medium small, that kind. So it's smaller than most of the IM out there, which have a lot of drivers. I'll say even girls should be able to fit it nicely. So it's very comfortable to wear. So this comfort wise, I give it a max like 10 out of 10. And also the design is kind of simple as usual, because it's Simgot. So they just make it simple with just a grey color faceplate on top with a gold ring. I guess it's a rose gold ring or gold ring. So that's all. And then for the back of the plate is actually a resin shell, which is very normal. I would still prefer something like the EA1000, as in for build wise, because it's metal and just feel really hefty and solid. But then here being so comfortable, I think that comfort level wise is slightly even more comfortable to wear compared to the EA1000. So if comfort wise, if I want to wear one IM for the whole day long, I would pick this. And the cable that came with is also something that is pretty good. It's a silver plated copper, and is kind of easy to handle, and it's kind of soft, and it's not too rubbery. so not too janky as well. So I say it's a good cable. So for $150, in terms of physical wise, physicalities and physical aspect of this IEM is totally there. Yes, except the box. So this IEM, that's all for the physical aspect. Let's talk about sound. The sound of this IEM, I've heard the SuperMix 4 and the EM10, but I don't have the EM10 with me, so I just tried, and luckily the one that I gotten is SuperMix 4, because I would prefer the SuperMix 4 slightly a bit more. It's tuned towards, I would say, Harman. Yes, Harman or near to Harman, really Harman. But the graph does look like Harman if you measure it, but when you go and listen to it, actually the vocal wise, at least at near to like 3 to 4K region, like 2 to 4K region, does look like Harman to me, but to my ear, not really. So not really. Let's talk about that. So this IEM is harmony tuned. So the bass is tuned towards to be, I would say, have a cleaner bass. Don't really eat into your mid-range that much. And one thing I appreciate about the bass here is that it is kind of fast, snappy. Yes, very fast. So yeah, taste will change. So I'm not sure what was my taste back then, but now really I appreciate a lot of bass to be slightly a bit more snappier and slightly a bit more decisive, refined, and also fast. So when you have a very fast bass, things would have a little bit more attack. Yeah, so it would just attack, jab you, and then just go back. So it wouldn't really have a lot of those decay or lingering around. Some people might think that is there are people who like decay, so it depends on what songs that you are listening to. But if you want something cleaner, you want your vocals or your instrument to be slightly a little bit like cleaner, not so have swamp or flooded with everything, I think cleaner bass and faster bass is the way to go. But it's all about preference, okay, about preference. So I think that the bass here is fast and it's clean, and the mid-range, of course, done by the BA, is also as usual, the very clean, clear. You can hear a lot of separations and a lot of instrumental placement here, and also the 2 to 4K, I mean in terms of frequency response, which is the female vocal, where the female vocals there, it may look like in the graph, it may look like it should sound like super forward, but to my ear, I think that the vocal actually not that forward, okay, just at a center place, where because I think this IEM, it does the treble so well. At least I like the treble on this IEM. It doesn't feel harsh, and you're able to like retain a lot of details. So your kind of instruments, okay, a lot of instruments will just pop to the front, will be brought to the front, where it's at the same, I think it's the same placement with the vocal. So it's a good thing and a bad thing, as in you can hear the music as whole. But for those of you who just like vocal to be like super forward, out of leave everything behind, leave all your instruments behind at the back, I think this might not be it. Okay, this might not be it, because although it looks like in terms of graph, it does look like the vocals stand out a lot, but to me, it really is instruments come first, okay, or at least instrument comes together with the vocal. And it's a good thing too, as in when instruments come together with vocal, not that everything is crowded over there, congested over there, but everything still have their own separated, very good separation as mentioned earlier, so very separated. That's why the vocal and the detail retrieval was done very well. And this IEM, compared to the EM10, it is also a little bit more expensive, a bit wider to listen to, because maybe due to the type of drivers that it was being used. So the only downside that I find on this IEM is just the timbre, okay, just the timbre. Coherency, I think that is still okay, it's still not that bad. At least my wife wouldn't be able to tell that this is having like 4 different types of drivers, where she could tell when she listened to some other IEM which was released last year that I got 4 different driver configurations. So on this IEM, she just think that it's fine. So, and then I also appreciate how they can able to like exploit the benefits of each different driver configuration, such as planars, where we give you a lot of details, and piezo maybe a little bit of that air and sparkle. So I think this is a very good IM to go with. So let's start with, let's go to like comparison. I don't have much to compare to, so because I don't have the Nova. So maybe I'll compare it to those of you who are like wondering about the EA 1000, which I highly suggest you guys to get, because it's one of the best thing in that price category for $200. So this is cheaper. This is selling for $150. If EA 1000 don't have sales, then that one is $50 more. So in terms of build quality, I give it all to the EA 1000 because it's looks so premium, looks so pretty, and got glass, it got metal, it got like everything. So very pretty, and even felt hefty as well. So for build, I give it to that. And the cable that came with also the EA 1000 is a bit better. The box is also better on the EA 1000. But when it comes to sound, then it's preference thing. Both are very similar, but the bass that was being done here on the SuperMix 4, it has more bass. Yes, not that it's a very basic IM, just that this has good, healthy amount of bass that most of you would have preferred. No one would complain that it had too much bass, or no one would have complained that it don't have enough bass. I think that is at a very healthy level. And I think the vocal was done separately on these two IM, where the EA 1000 would have the vocal slightly forward compared to this. The vocal is not super forward, just right there together with the rest of the instruments at the same level. And the detail retrieval on both IM, I would think that is kind of similar as well, where maybe the SuperMix 4 done that a little bit better, as in because the way they present it. So you see, depends on what you define like details. So to me, details is those small little things that is hiding behind, or some are that usually you are finding through like some of the instruments. Okay, the way they plug the guitar, or the way they do the piano or something. So a lot of things going on, and you try to look for each one of them. And this SuperMix 4 brought the instruments slightly a bit like to your attentions. It's there, so that's why you'll be able to find it more. I think that this is slightly a bit more technical, whereas on the EA 1000, which is also quite technical, it's very technical, good detail retrieval and all. I think that one just maybe a tad, just like a little bit lose out to this just by a little bit. And also I would say that the EA 1000 and this also have that timbre difference. So DD timbre, as in the EA 1000 having a DD timbre where it is way more natural, because you still have one driver to do all the thing, and some more is a dynamic drivers which usually do sound really natural. So we have nothing to nitpick there. For here, we can't really have the best of both worlds. You want to have details, you want to have like 4 different types of drivers, and still want it to sound a bit more natural. Kind of difficult. So the timbre wise here, it lose out to the EA 1000. So in conclusion, do I recommend this IM? Yes, I highly do. A very safe IM that you can't really nitpick a lot of things out of it for the price of $150. And for detail retrieval, those of you who like bass, who like vocal, everything, it got it done nicely just here. If you are not a person that would complain about like timbre. So, or if you guys have something, if you like planar IM or something, you might even prefer this slightly even more, because since you are using planar, you don't mind the timbre anymore. So just pick this is $150, and hopefully there are still sales going on, and hopefully they just extend the thing a little bit more, or just wait for the next one. If this thing can go like $120, I think this might be the best thing ever. So that's all for the review. I'll be catching up with you guys with the next one. See you guys. Bye bye.